Christ according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord Christ.
Another parable Jesus put before the crowd. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest of shrubs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make their nests in the branches. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of flour until all of it was leavened. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which someone found and hid. Then in his joy he goes and he sells all that he has and buys the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. On finding the pearl of greatest value, he went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was thrown into the sea and caught fish of every kind. When it was full, they drew it ashore, sat down, and put the good into baskets, but threw out the bad. So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Have you understood all this? They answered, yes. And he said to them, therefore, every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like a master of a household who brings out of his treasure what is new and what is old. The gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Christ.
Be with us this day and help us to hear your words. The words that you would have us to hear and to follow. The words that you would have us to understand. Whether they are the words spoken or the words that are written on our hearts and our minds, let it always be yours. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So we have quite the little story here, starting with this first story in Genesis. What do we hear?
Marriages between one man.
Well, this is true. Don't hear about marriage between one man and one woman. We hear about deceit, right? Sort of a deceitful way of doing this. So Laban talked Jacob into working 7 years. So not only is it not about marriage between one man and one woman, but you have to pay for it. It's a contract. I've got news for you, it still is. But think about it. How must Leah have felt? How could her father do this? How could a father do something to their daughter, like marry her to a man who she knows worked for Rachel? It wasn't a secret. Who knew that this man really loved her sister? And then, to make matters worse, what did he do? Then he gave her Rachel. And so now they share a husband on top there probably are some things like that are being done today. Yes. Can you imagine that? I'm amazed that, first of all, that this worked out as well as it did, though we will hear more, I think, in later readings. But it's this sort of love that we see from two different perspectives. We see this love of daughters by Laban because I'm sure he didn't mean to hurt Leah in the process. He really wanted Leah to be taken care of when he died. And he knew Jacob was a good man. So it wasn't out of some sort of spite or hurt that he gave Leah to Jacob. He just knew he could get away with it. And Leah knew that she would be taken care of and that her father loved her. But Jacob loved Rachel so much that not only did he work 7 years for her, but he worked 14. So there's this love that is just so strong. And so to concentrate on the deception sort of takes away from the story. But it's important that we look at the whole story, that we look at the way this love comes and this life comes about. And the reason it's important is because the next reading we have is from this wonderful apostle that we like to hate, which is Paul. We don't like to like Paul. But what is Paul telling us in this story? What does he say? That nothing can separate us from the love of God. There's not a thing that you or I can do that will ever separate us from that love. Nothing. That's a beautiful story to tell. That says that even when we sin, when we do bad, when we're ugly to each other, when we don't do what we should to each other, that God never stops loving us. It means that not even if we run from God or say we don't believe in God or whatever it is that we think, that God never stops loving us. It's a love that's so unconditional that God was willing to sacrifice God's self for us. God was literally willing to say, I will lay down my life for you even if you hate me and despise me. That's what God says. We're not talking about Jesus in this. Paul doesn't say Jesus other than it's the love of God through Jesus. Paul is talking about God. And what I want us also to remember is that it really doesn't matter what religion that you focus on. Almost every religion has the same God. There is one God, the creator of all of us. We may call God different things. And yes, there are some religions that believe that God is different than the one we serve. But most of them understand it is the one God. And that God loves us regardless. The one thing that I think that in that story, and then going on to the gospel and looking at heaven as a mustard seed or as a treasure or as a pearl, that we want to remember is that we are to seek this love. We are to seek this treasure of love. Yes, it talks about heaven being this treasure. But I think heaven is about love. Heaven is about coming to a place where we come face to face with this love that is God. The other thing I think that this reading will talk to us about if we really start checking and looking and searching in the Scripture is that heaven can be found right here. Now, I get that we probably don't necessarily think that right now, that there are things that are going on that we don't necessarily think they can happen here, and it's not. But one thing I know is that God says it can be like heaven right here. And if God says it can be so, it can be. So how do we get there? How do we see heaven right here on earth? Got a clue? I know you do. I'm been talking about it ever since I started talking. Love. It's about how we love each other. There is a way that even when we don't like each other, because remember, we're not told we have to like each other, we just have to love each other. There's a way that we can show this love even to those that we really find hard to like. And we all have those people that we find hard to like, right? Won't call any names. They're all different in different people's minds, but there are people that we don't really like. And we don't want to like. We don't necessarily even want to love them. But one thing that we can never forget, or I hope we will never forget, is that each and every one of us was created in the image of God, and therefore we should love each other, even if we don't like each other. And if we find a way to find that greatest of pearl inside of our brother and sister, then we find a way to search for that love. If we go and are willing to give everything just for this wonderful love, this love that we have for each other just because God does it through us. And yes, sometimes that's the only way we can love each other is because God does it for us. But we have to allow that to grow in us. We have to allow that spark of God to dwell in us in such a way that even when we want to slap or kick or hit our neighbor, somehow God's love in us says, no, I want to come forth in such a way that they feel this love that only comes from God. It's not easy. I told him this morning and I got corrected. I thought it was Tom Jones that said, I never promised you a rose garden, but they said it was somebody else. Some woman. Ann something? Lynn. Okay. So, I got corrected. See, I learned, even in my sermons, I learned things. God doesn't promise us that any of this is going to be easy. He doesn't promise that this world will be heaven because it's going to be easy. What does it say about the treasures? In the gospel, what does it say? Well, they're buried, but what did he have to do? He had to search for it. They searched for the pearl. The woman took the yeast and kneaded it into the flour. It was work. It was not handed over. Only the love is handed over. The fact that we get to find it takes a little work. We have to work at loving each other. That's right. Jesus tells us that. Jesus tells us being a follower is hard. I disagree with that statement in this sense. I don't think Christianity is dropping. I don't think faith is dropping. I think people don't understand about church. They don't understand that part of how we have to work to find these pearls and this treasure and how we have to work to let God's love overtake us in a way that shows out from us is because we need each other to do it. When I want to be angry with somebody and somebody else in the church comes up and says, you know, we so are glad you're back. It changes your whole personality. When you're sitting next to somebody and you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you're grumpy and grumbly and they give you a hug, it changes your whole attitude. That's why we come to this place. Yes, I understand that sometimes it's work to come. I get it. But that work is worth the outcome. And that's why we keep remembering that we come together not to worship God, though that's what we do. Church is about coming together to help each other love. Coming together to help each other find that treasure, to find that pearl, to find the love that dwells in us in such a way that we can love our neighbor even when we don't like them, and even sometimes when we despise them. God has to plant that seed in us, and we have to allow it to grow. Because, let's face it, God never stops loving us, but we can pluck those seeds out just like we pluck weeds. But we can't do it, and it's part of what we do together. We help each other. We lift each other up, particularly when we're going through bad times. But it's also nice to have somebody when we're going through good times to share the joy, right? Why we come to this place. But I hope if we get anything out of these readings is that it is all about the love of God and how we share it. It is about, I don't want anybody to leave here thinking, regardless of what you've ever been told, that God doesn't love you. It doesn't matter. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things bad. We've all done things wrong. But Paul tells us nothing. Nothing. Not even what the greatest of runaway people did. Who is that? Who is the one that ran from God the hardest? Well, he persecuted, but he didn't run. Yeah, I was thinking of a person. Think of somebody who tried to get away from God. A big fish. Jonah. God said, you think you can run from me? I'll send the fish to get you. You will not run from me because I love you and I have something for you to do. That is what love is about. It's about not letting go. It's about not letting you move away even when you want to. And that's what we're each called to do. We're called to allow that love to be so strong in us that even when people want to run away, even when people say, I'm spiritual but not religious, we can't let go. We can't say, oh, no, you're going over there and be spiritual by yourself. You can be. You can be spiritual by yourself. But you can't build the relationship that God has for you without each other. We cannot build that relationship alone. Yes, we have individual relationships with God, but it is only through the community that we grow. So I want us to go out. Find ways to allow God's love to grow in us in such a way that we cannot do anything but love even those that we despise the most. Even if it's only because they were created in the image of God. Even if that's the only reason we love them, that we love them for that. Go out. Let the gift of love share, not only to you, but through you, in a way that others might know this love and know it's real. Because sometimes it takes us expressing this love for others to know that it is real, true love.